We're here with Mark Tutssel, Chief Creative Officer at Leo Burnett Worldwide, who you've just come off stage after giving a presentation called Humankind. Do you want to just explain what you mean by that term?
Humankind is our approach to modern day communication. Everything we do as a company is rooted in human understanding, and it aims to deliver a real human purpose and put a meaningful human purpose at the heart of a brand story. To really connect with people today, you have to put that meaningful purpose there. Brands that are stewarded by and guided by a human purpose are the brands that will be really successful today. And the presentation was really broken into four component parts. One was a look at people, the people we're trying to communicate with. Two was the purpose of a brand, how do we get to a unique purpose. Secondly was participation, which was inviting people into the brand story in a compelling new way, using technology and using every communication channel we have at our disposal to put to use, to connect with people in a new way. And finally is populism, which is the effect of purpose-driven communication. And really the heart of it was really the power of creativity to drive human connection, because creativity right now is the primary asset of brands and the most important asset in business today, and it has a unique ability to change the way people think, feel and ultimately behave. And ultimately, when you consider this business, it comes down to two things: people and their behavior. And to change human behavior, you have to put a meaningful purpose at the heart of that communication.
Excellent. And so can you think of any ads you've seen maybe from this region or further afield that have genuinely changed human behaviour?
I think the work from our Cairo office for Melody Films is a brilliant example of modern day communication, of humankind communication. It's rooted in a comprehensive understanding of behaviour, and it has such a rich insight into culture and people and their love of Egyptian film. And they've taken that human understanding and turned it into the most compelling, entertaining piece of communication I've seen for a very long time. And it's one of the freshest pieces of work in the industry, regardless of the MENA region. And I think that's probably the best example from this region at this moment in time. And you saw the reaction today from the audience. I mean, it was universally loved because it connected with people. And what you want from moving pictures is to move people in the most compelling fashion. And the purpose that drove it was clear and concise throughout, and you were left with a unique relationship between the brand and that Egyptian audience you were trying to connect with.
And do you think online channels have obviously had a massive impact in the last 10 years? How have they made it easier for advertisers to connect with people? I think you know, it's an eternal debate in the industry right now. I think connecting with people has never been easier. I mean, technology is at everybody's fingertips. We have the ability to connect with them in many, many ways. I think the difficulty is not connecting to, it's connecting with people. Emotionally connecting with people is the order of the day. And brands that are driven by human purpose have the ability to move people and change that behavior. Connecting to something has never been easier. Connecting with is still incredibly difficult unless you have something that enriches people's lives. Communication is a two-way thing now, and the conduit between people and brands. There are many conduits between people and brands, regardless of the channels we operate in. But the content of that connection is of the utmost importance, because it has to be a value exchange between people and brands themselves, and there has to be something in the brand story that enriches people's lives. Of course, communication has to be entertaining, it has to be stimulating and engaging, and all of the sort of green feeds that you expect brands to have. But are you interesting? Are you stimulating? Are you enriching my life? And more importantly, are you useful to me? And the brands that play an active part in people's lives in a fresh new way are the brands I think succeed in the future. So it's wonderful to have, you know, technology everywhere. You know, the growth of mobile is remarkable. You know, you see this rapid explosion of smartphones and, you know, BlackBerry, you know, stepping into the world. But I just feel, you know, there has to be some fundamental truth about the brand. There has to be a human purpose at the heart of the brand story to truly resonate with people. Technology for technology's sake is nothing. I mean, using technology to connect with people in an interesting fashion is the way to go. And finally, what do you think's next big thing in this local MENA region?
I think MENA is primed for global success. I think the Melody Films is an example of the type of talent that resides here. There's clearly a richness in terms of creativity. I mean, here we are in Dubai. I mean, wherever you walk in this city, it's pure creativity. I mean, everything has an idea behind it. You can sense the appetite to change the way people live, the way people, where the area is thought of. But I feel there's a passion for creativity. There's a human understanding, and there's a real desire to play on the big field with the big boys. And slowly through time you're starting to see big brand building ideas, big ideas that really have the ability to change the game and change human behaviour on a bigger scale. And I'm not talking about little one-off ads that win awards and advertising shows. I'm talking about big integrated brand ideas that really have scale, have human connection, and have the ability to grow a brand and weave its way into the culture in an interesting way. And I look at Melody Films as a prime example of that, because that has woven its way into the social fabric in a way that no other brand has done before. It shows a comprehensive understanding of the people it's connecting with. It's talking to them and having a conversation with them in a language that they understand, that they feel actively involved in the story, because it's a brand that knows me, that understands me, and it's factoring me into the communication in an interesting way. And if you look at the amplification and activation of the Melody idea in the many channels that it operates in, it's a huge idea, a huge business idea as much as a wonderful creative idea. So you're always looking for examples. You know, every region has ambition, every region has a dream, but how many regions have examples of high creativity that have the ability to transform behaviour? And Melody is as good as it gets. And if I was a betting man, I think it will do very well at Cannes this year. Hopefully, it will do very well at Cannes this year, and justifiably do well at Cannes, because I think it's a wonderful idea, and certainly it's the best work I've seen at the show since I've been here.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mark.
No problem.